Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, why don't you just kind of, so everybody can kind of relate, why don't you kind of paint a picture of what the early years of being in Thrice looked like?
We started off, just kind of getting together, jamming. I think for us, we were really motivated because we booked a show and we had no songs. So we wrote like 7 songs in a month or something like that and played this show, made an EP. We're selling that, out of our cars to friends and pushing it on people who probably didn't want it. But yeah, so we were just kind of taking, our whole career really has been just taking little baby steps of, okay, well, let's play, let's try to get at that venue in town, and let's, go bug the people at this record store and see if they'll, carry our EP. Let's, so trying to do a lot of groundwork, playing any show that we possibly could, even if it didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Just being like, hey, it's people are going to see us play. The more you play, the better band you're going to be, for sure. And then it just was, more steps. Let's try to find a label, make a record. Let's see if we can do a little tour. Let's see if we can get a booking agent. So it's just kind of building on top of. I think people get frustrated when they say, okay, this crazy goal out here, I'm going to get to that. And then that feels impossible, rather than kind of making smaller goals and seeing what you can do.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
What was the moment where you guys felt like you could step out and do something like that?
I was working at a skate shop at the moment, and I'm still friends with the people that run that skate shop. And we actually figured out the other day that I don't think I ever actually quit. So I don't know. I think we just started touring, and it was like, all right, I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks. And it was like, all right, cool. And then it was like, all right, I'm going to be gone for a month now. And then it was like, I'm going to be gone for the next couple months. So it was kind of baby steps.
So you're still getting texts like, hey, dude, your shift starts in 10 minutes. Where are you?
I'm waiting for that now, yeah.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
I mean, I was in school, so I had to it got to the point where I was like, okay, do you not take this opportunity to go on this rad month-long tour? Or, so I quit school and we started touring more and more.
Okay, so guys, I think we've all been in a situation where we've been in band practice and you just feel deflated. And a lot of it's because we don't really know how to run an effective band practice, right? It's like everybody has moods, or everybody has getting wives from their girlfriends on I'm so sorry to be staying up till midnight practicing with your band or whatever. So what's an effective way that you guys practice together as a band? Or started in the beginning, or you're like, this is a good rhythm or a good time or a good space or a good way, anything?
I think even from the beginning we would do kind of acoustic jams sometimes and try to work out parts, but then we'd do a full band jam. We've lived in different places at different times, so we've been sharing files and then getting together and jamming through those. Right now we're on a deadline trying to start recording soon, so the other 3 guys have been jamming in a room while I've been working at home building other things. And so for us it's kind of whatever is working at the time, but I don't know.
I also think it's important to realize that even if you're working all day on something and you don't get it done or whatever, that is still progress, because you're working out things that don't work. So I don't know, and then trying to step back every once in a while and see how your perspective might not be seen, or I don't know, make it fun. It's fun. Yeah.
I was gonna say too, just we've also made the mistake of being okay, now we're full-time band, so we're just gonna do every day we're in the studio writing, and anytime you do anything straight for that long, especially loud sounds, it took us a while to be this is kind of awful after a while. We need to break it up a little bit. So just if you're getting in a rut, change it up. I don't know.
That's really helpful. Okay, so for like a band, like logistics side, like managerial, like what would be your advice to somebody like say, man, if you're a band wanting to take that next step, I would hire a tour manager, or I would hire a band manager, or I would look at like contracting out like a label to release an album through, or like what would you say like would be a healthy next step for a band wanting to do something like that?
I mean, finding a tour manager if you can is super helpful. So I mean, you can kind of ask around, like find bands that you like and go to their show and ask them who's your tour manager. Can I get their info? Just try to find a way in, have a foot in the door. As far as managers, I've seen a lot of stuff go super wrong with people, and the thing that we've always done is just work with someone that we trusted and worked hard, and maybe they weren't the flashiest, whatever, who had, but we trust them with our lives, and we know they're working hard, and that's worth way more to us.
I also think it's important to do it yourself in the beginning, and then when doing that work becomes more work than you can handle doing what you're doing, that's a good time to make that step. And then you know how it works, and you know what the person's doing for you, which is important too.
Yeah, that's great.
Last question about touring, how do you guys decide which cities and territories or markets to play in and how to organize a tour? How do you guys do that?
Well, in the beginning, you want to just slowly branch out, so like I think it's really important to build kind of a home following and play all the venues in your immediate area and then start trying to play around there. And then for us, we started playing out in Phoenix and Tucson all the time, and playing in Vegas all the time, playing in Santa Barbara all the time, just like widening that circle, and yeah, doing what you can with that. So it's a bit harder in Southern California. Yeah, baby steps. And then later on, if you're touring a bunch, you might have a tour manager that's helping make those decisions, which they do with us now. But in the beginning, I mean, you just got to do as much as you can. So.
Very cool. Okay, last question for each of you. Just over your career, a high and a low of being in a band. High and low of being in Thrice for each of you. Or just a high.
Before during Major Minor was pretty low. We all had family members sick and a lot of bad stuff going on, and taking the break was hard, even though I think it was good in the end. So that was heavy. Highs, I don't know, like I feel like coming back this past couple years has been pretty awesome. I think we all feel really refreshed, having been on break. I think we had some time to grow separately, and so I think a lot of the dynamics with the band are better than they have been.
You can tell that there's just like a ferocious energy from To Be Everywhere. It's just like you can tell like that you guys are rested, and like the creative energy is just like, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous album. So good job. Yeah. Sorry. Same. Yeah. Touring's tough. Stick through it. I got you. All right. Any other nuggets of wisdom you guys want to share with these guys or anybody else out there?
The thing that we always say is just you have to love doing it. Like, don't be doing it to get something else, because it's not an easy industry to make it anywhere in. And so if you're loving it, great, you're having fun too. And if you're trying to get something else, there's probably a better way to get it. So
it's really helpful. Awesome. Well, give these guys a round of hand. Thanks so much for being here.
Cheers. Thank you guys.
Appreciate you a lot.